today's Caring for My Carolina segment, we're talking about a wonderful event coming up on May 2nd to raise money and awareness for Hopeful Parents, which is a nonprofit. Joining me now are Kim Reynolds, her little guy Reynolds, and Lee Wharton from Hopeful Parents. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for
First of all, let's quickly talk about the event. It's a fun run and a 5K and a dash, Kim, that is all part of the Second Empire 5K, or the race series.
That's correct. It's going to be on May 2nd, and it is a 5K run and walk, and we will have a 1-mile fun run along with a 100-yard kids dash.
And all of this is a part of a race series that Second Empire is very much involved in, and you all choose a charitable component to it.
That's correct. We have a series, the Grand Prix series, and the 5K Classic is one of 16 races throughout the year.
Look at that funny wire, Reynolds. It's gone up your shirt, but that's okay. It's like a little tail. Now, you have chosen Hopeful Parents as your charitable organization this year. Lee, if you can tell me a little bit more about Hopeful Parents and how you guys got started.
Hopeful Parents is a great organization that was born out of the need that a local attorney saw as parents were waiting for that placement process or during the waiting process. And during that waiting period, parents really, or intended parents, had needs to communicate with others, to learn about the process, to make it a little less daunting. So there came Hopeful Parents, and Hopeful Parents celebrates the adoption triad.
Which, that's a neat thing. It's a 3-part piece to it, really.
Correct.
And that would be the birth mother,
correct,
the adoptive parents, and then the child being adopted?
Exactly, exactly.
Because nowadays it seems, I mean, perception is what most people think is that it would be very difficult, and you have to have like full websites and biographies of yourself to be matched with a birth mother, and it all seems very overwhelming. Does this help minimize some of that stress?
It definitely does. As I'm sure that Kim can attest, as you're waiting, it's a very nerve-wracking time, and during that time period, having the opportunity to talk with others who have already gone through that process and take away a little bit of that fear that comes with it. It's not going to take away at all, because you're doing one of the most important things you've ever done in your entire life, but it makes it a little bit more acceptable.
And does it also help during that dreaded 7-day waiting period, which I guess is, people who aren't familiar with this at home, if you do get matched with a birth mother and once she gives birth, there are still 7 days that she could change her mind about giving that child up for adoption.
That's correct.
What was that like for you, Kim?
That was tough, because we had a situation before that the parents had decided to keep the child, and so when this 7 days came up, it was tough. But we had met the birth mother, and we were very assured that this was the right match for us.
And it has changed your lives in dramatic ways, hasn't it?
Oh, the very best. The very best.
Actually, we've lost Reynolds. He's gone off to the other part of the studio right now, but he's 3.5 and he's doing great. So again, let's go over some of the details of the May 2nd event. And I love the fact that you do have the kids dash, right? So the whole family's invited to come out.
The most fun, yeah.
So it's a Sunday morning, May 2nd. And where's
2 o'clock?
Oh, 2 o'clock. Sorry, 2. And where is it going to happen?
It's going to be at the Second Empire Restaurant.
That's the starting spot?
That's the starting spot and the finish line. We'll have tents set up for other adoption agencies to come in and spread the word about adoption, so people can come along Harrington Street and talk to those different agencies if they.
Excellent. So there's all sorts of resources for people who want to come and learn about it. Okay, terrific. Kim and Lee and Reynolds back over there somewhere. Thanks so much for joining us. All of this information is going to be available on our website at mycarolinatoday.com.